We're going to go over what I think are the top 4 options for you to get your brand online and get your website up today in 2017. Okay, option number 1 is to go with a template service like Squarespace. I'm not sponsored by Squarespace. I'm not getting any money for this from Squarespace. I just know a lot of people who've had a lot of success with Squarespace in the past. They offer a fantastic product, super easy to use. You can have your website up and running even within an hour if you want to. You don't need much experience. If you're computer savvy, you can probably get it going. If you have experience, even better, you can really customize it the way you want. Squarespace and other sites like Wix are great. I haven't used Wix myself, but I know Squarespace has excellent sites, excellent templates, and it's easy to get up and running going. So that's my number 1, well, my first choice for your options for starting a website. Option number 2 is to go with WordPress. Now, if you have a bit of experience building a website or you're kind of tech savvy, you can probably figure it out. What you need to do is get yourself a web host, something like GoDaddy. Once again, I'm not sponsored by GoDaddy. They're not paying me for this. I've used their service for a long time and I've been pretty happy with it. So I always go with them. And I've used their website builder. Even though I design my own websites and do all my sites by hand coding, I've looked at their tools and they're pretty easy to use and you can get up and running pretty quick. Now, you won't have a lot of options when it comes to design choices. Same as Squarespace, you're picking a template and you're not going to be able to you'll be able to customize it, but not a totally custom design. So your website might look very similar to other sites out there. That's one drawback of option 1 and option 2, is you're not going to have a custom design. So if you pick WordPress, you can go out and find a template that you like. There's tons of WordPress templates out there. You'll be able to bring it in, plug it into your web host, get your site up and running. You'll have your CMS, your content management system. You'll be able to add content to your website, and it'll take you a bit of work. Depends how much experience you have. Could be a day, could be a week, could be a month. It all depends on the person. But you can be up and running reasonably quick. Not as fast as getting a website service like Squarespace, but WordPress and a web host is a great option. Option number 3. You can go out and use a service if you have a little bit more experience and you know what you're doing. You can use a visual builder based on WordPress again, but you can go and find a theme that's a visual builder where you can actually build and customize your template the way you want it. It's not a complete custom design, but you can get a fairly good design. I've used the Divi theme before from Elegant Themes. It's pretty good. I can't customize exactly how I want to do it if I'm building my own site from scratch, but I was pretty impressed when it came to getting a template up and running and be able to visually build and edit the content of your pages in the design, which is pretty cool, which has been the dream for a long time. I've been working in design for about over 15 years now, and the dream has always been to have a visual builder on the screen for people to use where they actually edit your content right there in your site. It's been around for a long time. There's been different ways of doing it. This is probably the best one I've seen. Squarespace is good as well, but the Divi 3.0 from Elegant Themes template is fantastic as a visual builder. So if you have a little bit of experience and you want to try and build your own custom design, add your own images in, it's a great way to go. And it's not that expensive, it's pretty reasonable. Okay, option number 4, and this is by far my favorite, but I'm a little biased, is to go for a custom design with hiring a web designer. Now, if you don't want to have to deal with all the technology and you don't have much experience and you're not too sure how to get things going, because there's a lot to know when it comes to building a website on each of the 4 levels, the option number 4 is probably the best for you. If you want to have a website you're going to be happy with, you're going to have a custom design, and it's going to be built the way you want to build it, and you'll have someone there to take care of everything for you, is to go out and hire a web designer or a web design company. So I've been doing web design as I said, for over 15 years, and I believe it's the best way to go. If you want a quick website, you can use one of the other 3 options. Option number 1, like Squarespace, is by far the fastest way to go, but your site's going to probably look like a ton of other sites out there. So if you really want to stand out in the crowd, the web is so saturated with websites now and brands. If you want to stand out, going with a custom website design through a web designer is the best way to go. Now, it is going to be a little more expensive. It all depends. You can get a very simple website up and running with a web designer for not very much money. You'd be surprised how much you can do. If it's a simple, static website where you just want basically a home page, contact, and information, you can get a really nice website up with a web designer for not as much money as you would think. Or if you want a more complex site where you're going to be building either like a storefront or galleries or things like that, it's going to cost a little bit more, but you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. And I'm pretty sure if you find the right person that you're comfortable with and you check out their portfolio, you'll be very happy with the results in the end. Now, you are going to spend money. I understand money's tight for everybody, but you get what you pay for. The big thing with going with a custom website through a web designer is that site's going to last you a long time. They're going to build it in a way, as long as they're a good web designer, which most are, you can find online, you can get reviews from people and check out their work and get references. But if they're a good web designer, they're going to build you a website that will be scalable for the future. It's going to be responsive, so it's going to show up on all devices properly, whether it be your phone, tablets, big screen TVs, or desktop computers, and it's going to work. What they're going to do is they're going to build it with semantic HTML coding, which is really going to help you with the search engines. Having proper coding and a proper backend for your site is crucial these days, especially when it comes to responsive websites, to get a good ranking in the Google algorithm. They're also going to make it so it's going to be accessible to every person out there. People with disabilities or impairments will be able to view your site, and with things like screen readers, we'll be able to get that content. And that's a big thing when it comes to SEO now and search engine optimization. It's really important, and it's going to be the law very soon. Actually, it is the law in a lot of countries now, which is fantastic. It's about time. Now, as I said, I am a little biased with the option number 4, which is going with the web designer, because I'm a web designer. I've had a web design company for 15 years. I've worked in many places doing web design, a lot of different small places, larger places, and I think it's the best way to go if you really want to have a good website. Not saying that the other options aren't great, they're fantastic. I've used Divi for some clients of mine, and I've told some of my clients they're better to go with Squarespace. I had one client who came to me and said, I just want to get this up and running. I don't have very much money, and I just was honest, and I said, you know what? Go with Squarespace. It's the fastest and easiest way to go. You can be up and running very quickly. She came back within a week, I believe, and she said, yeah, it's great, it's fantastic. Now, she wasn't looking for a very complex website, and she was fine with just picking a template. So if that's where you want to go, going with a website service like that is great. But if you really want your brand to stand out and you really have a vision in mind for your brand and your online platform, definitely go with a web designer. They know what they're doing. They'll help you. You'll be happy in the end. And they're going to build you a website that can be around for many, many years. What they're going to do, if they're a good web designer, is build you a website that can be updated in the future. They're going to code it in the back end to make sure that a year or two from now, the design world changes so fast, you might not be happy with your design a year or two from now. They're going to make it so that you can go back to them and say, listen, I want an updated design. They'll be able to quickly get you a new face on the website for the most part. If you want functionality change, that's a different thing. But if you just want a new look, updated look, it can be done pretty quickly. If you go with a service, you might have to rebuild the whole thing all over again. So going with the web designer is great for that. The site's going to last you for years. I've had clients that I built websites for, done multiple redesigns, and they've been on the same platform for 10 or 15 years, which is great. And over the course of those years, they've saved a lot of money with going with the web designer. I've had other clients who I've worked with who jumped around from service to service, trying with different platforms, trying with WordPress, had never been happy with it, and they finally came to a web designer, and now they're actually starting to get what they were looking for. So those 4 options are all great options. As I said, go with a web designer if you really want to stand out. You'd be surprised. You could find some great web designers right in your community. There could be kids, not even kids, adults right out of school who are willing and eager to get new clients and work with people and build up their portfolio. Go out and talk to them and get their advice. Or go with a seasoned web designer like myself, where I will even talk to you and give you and recommend what I think is the best option for you. And I'm not going to come to you and say, oh, go with me, I'm the best option. If something like a service like Wix or Squarespace is the best way to go, I'm going to tell you that. I like to be honest with my clients, and that's just the way I like to run my business. If you have a little bit more experience, it's great to go with Elegant Themes or another service like that, where it's a visual builder where you can pick a WordPress template, get it up and running on your server, and visually play with it, get it the way you want to look. It does take some experience. If you're not very tech savvy, it's probably not a good way to dive in. You'll probably get frustrated pretty quick with getting everything set up. But if you have a little bit of experience or you have some web coding, it's a great way to go. Okay, that was a lot of information, I know. So if you have any questions or want to talk to somebody, reach out to me. You can come to my website at waveform7.com or reach me on Twitter, @Robert Swift, And feel free to ask me any questions you want. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I'm back running my company again after a couple years of working for a bigger firm, and I'm loving being independent. So I'd love to talk to you. Okay, see you guys next time.